Welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on Chemo 365, where I hope out of the 365 days out of the year, you can find a video here that you can relate to. And as always guys, if you want to help support the channel, please hit that subscribe button down at the bottom, leave as many comments as you want, and if you really like the video, smash that thumbs up button. Tonight we're going to be talking about the truth behind The Rock's new movie, The King. Guys, open up and say ah, because I'm about to feed it right to you. Here's how the movie should go. We know it's going to go from the birth of King Kamehameha, the comet scenes, all the way to the Battle of Nu'uanu. So we're talking from birth to battle. Now, anywhere in between this, they might start to flip-flop things back and forth, because that's what Hollywood does to try to make things a little bit more interesting. But those are your bookends, the comet to the battle, or birth to battle. Okay, let me pitch you guys this overview, how I think the movie's going to go, and then I'll get into the individual specifics later. But let's start with the comet scene, right? The birth scene. Just like Leonidas, there's going to be a birth scene. Now, he was born when Halley's Comet was flying through the atmosphere, so that was an omen. And like I said, I'll get into that later. So there'll be a birth scene where they see him being born into royalty, and a whole bunch of people will be around. And then it'll transition probably into him showing him how he's going to be a great warrior, because he was an extremely popular warrior, had to work his way up through the ranks. Kind of like Leonidas, but he became very popular in that aspect and respected. And then with that, him being a warrior, you're probably going to see at least 3 battles. I already gave you one, the Battle of Nu'uanu, or the Pali. So that's one. The other 2 you can guarantee you're going to see are, you're going to see him fighting on the side of his uncle who taught him how to fight. And then the second one you're guaranteed going to see is when his uncle dies, he divides his possessions. Most of the land goes to his cousin, and then Kamehameha gets a idol, the war god. And he's like, yo, where's all my land at? So you're going to see those 2 fighting it out. And that's going to be the battle for the Big Island. So you're going to see that. So at least 3 battles in this movie. Speaking of warfare, let's talk about how it should be shown in this movie, alright? So I really hope, I sincerely hope, that the producers and the writers don't hold back in showing just how brutal Polynesian warfare was way back in the day, right? So I want to see shark-toothed clubs, spears, blunt force trauma. I really hope they don't forget to put in Hawaiian Special Forces, Hawaiian Martial Arts, and the big one for me is the haka. You can't have no Polynesian warfare with no haka. And for those of you that don't know what that is, this type of haka is a war dance where the invading army is coming. You do it, and it looks crazy. If you haven't seen it, I recommend looking at the All Blacks rugby team. Look for the Adidas one. That one is really cool. And it basically says, you cross this line and it's on. So you got to have those things in there if you're going to have any type of Hawaiian Polynesian warfare. So pay attention, producers. Follow what I say. And as always, you can't go to war without a priest. So you're probably going to see a kahuna. In fact, multiple appearances by a kahuna, because Polynesian culture is very spiritual in nature. Just like Leonidas had to consult the oracle when they had to climb up those rocks, you're going to see a lot of spirituality in this movie. In fact, let me go back to the very beginning, that first bookend when I talked about the comet. So the big deal about that was Kamehameha was born when Halley's Comet was streaking through the atmosphere of Earth. That combined with a lot of other natural occurrences, the Hawaiians took that as an omen that the boy that's born under these conditions is going to be the one to unite all the islands together. So if you're a chief on a neighboring island and you're hearing that this boy was born and he's going to take over your job, you're going to come to go get him. And that's what happened. They tried to kill him when he was a baby. But they took him. The mom was smart. They hit him. And that's when he started training with his uncle. And that's what's going to start leading up to him in those scenes where you're going to see him train to get bigger and stronger until you see big Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson starting to just smash fools. So that's the significance of spirituality and why you're going to see one in this movie. Now, looking at this from a business perspective, I think there's some things that should be in the movie, but I don't think are going to make it into the movie. Okay, the first one is people get really uncomfortable talking about royal lineage when you talk about marrying your sister or your cousin. That's very common in the Hawaiian culture, so I don't think you're going to see that. The second one is when you defeat somebody in battle, you eat them, you know, so you can get their mana, their power. I don't think you're going to see that in there. And then the last one is the person that you defeated, the chief that you defeated, you normally take their wife or your daughter and you make them your wife. And King Kamehameha had a bunch of wives, so I don't think you're going to see that in there either. But just to let you guys know, if it is in there, don't freak out. That's just part of what was going on back then. Okay, cool, right? Let's take all of that stuff. And remember, the first bookend on this half is the comet. Him being born under the comet and all those natural occurrences. The other chiefs are like, uh-oh, this kid's supposed to be the one to unite all the islands. That means we gonna be out of a job So they come to kill him. That's what starts this whole thing. The warfare, him training with his uncle. The kahunas are going to get involved. Oh, the thing I forgot to mention is, I hope the love interest that they show is going to be between Ka'ahumanu and Kamehameha, because that was his favorite wife. If it's not, I call BS on you guys. So remember, Ka'ahumanu. Anyway, you take all of that stuff and it's going to culminate to this pinnacle, which I think should be the last scene, and that's the Battle of Nu'uanu, or the Pali, however you want to say it. Now, he did have to beat some other chiefs after that, but this was it. This was a culmination of his Hawaiian warfare training combined with Western influence, and he was bargaining. So he had some cannons, he had some muskets, and he didn't just say, here, take them. His forces were overtrained. Now, just really briefly, if you guys know where Diamond Head Crater is on Oahu, he basically split his army into two. One at Waialae, one in Waikiki. They hooked around Diamond Head, pushed up Nu'uanu Valley. He sent an auxiliary unit up around Manoa so that when they pushed the Oahu's forces up into that cliff, it was like 300 style. They had just people jumping off the cliff. And if you look on the internet and search Battle of Pali, you'll see just an artist rendition of what went on there. And when they built the freeways up there, they found a lot of ancient Hawaiian remains up there. So that's legit stuff, guys. And I think that's where the ending of the movie should happen. So guys, that's what you have to look forward to. The Rock's movie, The King, is going to be freaking awesome. I just hope that they don't give The Rock some stupid accent. That's my big worry. And I forgot to mention that earlier. Every Hawaiian movie I've seen has just been ruined by a shitty accent. So guys, that's the ending of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys later.